Welcome back to the Cherry Pickin' Hockey Podcast, episode number 12. We're going to start things off here with a little bit of a cherry picking update. Sad day. Drewski will no longer be with us for the time being. The guys can chime in here, but there's a business side of things that some people forget. To this company, we're employed by OwnersBox Fantasy Sports, and it was just something came down and they had to make changes.
Not his fault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not his fault at all. We really want to stress that Drew did nothing wrong. He was great for this podcast, great for the brand. I mean, he was the biggest face of the Cherry Pickin' podcast.
Love him or hate him, he was always here, showing up, doing his thing, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. People love Drew.
People love Drew. So maybe you know what? Why don't we just start things off? Why don't we just talk about some Drew moments?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right? Let's talk about some favorite Drew moments. Obviously, some people hated Drew in the comments. I mean, we know that. And some people loved him. That's why we created the Gentleman's Club. It will live on. The Gentleman's Club. It is not going anywhere. So, you know what? Show your support. Hashtag Gentleman's Club in the comments.
Reach out to Drew if you can.
Reach out to Drew on Discord. It's still active there, so you can talk to him. Twitter as well. I don't think he's very active on Twitter, so Discord might be better. But like I said, man, there's been a lot of great moments. The first one that comes to mind is obviously Jacob Chikrin. I mean, the guy couldn't go anywhere. He said he went to some convention and someone mentioned Jacob Chikrin to his
Toronto.
Face. Yeah,
Drew's defining moment.
It was. I mean, he was huge on him. Let's be honest. I mean, he's still a keep, though. He's stressing a keep. I probably would want me to tell the camera. It's a keep. It's a keep.
The Patty Kane one as well.
The Patty Kane sell high. I didn't agree with the take. A lot of people didn't agree with the take. He, for some reason, hates the Blackhawks. There was a lot of comments on that. But hey, he might have been right on the take.
I think one of the funniest guys to go to the bar with. Just life of the party. Just such a good dude. Every time we go to the bar, first thing you say, let's go talk to girls. Let's go talk to Drew. Been here 2 minutes. I'm still sober. Let's wait a little bit. He disappointed last week at the bar. He's like, I didn't talk to enough girls. But he was too busy dancing on the table. So.
My favorite Drew thing is just his apartment. It's his fridge. You open up his freezer, it's 10 bottles of Jägermeister. Open up his fridge, 0 pieces of food in there, just seltzers and beers. But he's the healthiest guy we know because he fasts.
Yes, 18-hour fast.
18-hour
That's another thing. It's crazy. Last week he started it. The 18-hour fast. Man.
God damn it, he stuck to it too.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Until we went out and we were mucking Dons at 3 a.m. The next day, he was so disappointed to find out that he was doing that.
I just kind of like about him, we never had the same opinion on anything. We never once agreed with each other on a take.
He did mention that multiple times. Me and Gianni are always
just constantly on different sides of arguments. Anytime. This is kind of, I don't know if we've brought this up on the show, but the Charlie McAvoy incident must be one of my favorite moments.
Explain it.
So Charlie McAvoy is a defenseman in the NHL who's offered on OwnersBox, and Drew likes to help out with the pricing from time to time. Doesn't always understand the process we go through to set prices. So we had Charlie McAvoy priced at a very fair $5,400 for 1 week. Day after we set prices, he gets I think 3 goals. 3 goals and 4 assists in 2 games. Immediately comes to me and says he's got to be priced with Cale Makar. I say, no, he can't.
He is going to be irate. These two were fighting.
They got vicious.
It was bad.
The funny thing is they weren't even fighting face to face. It was through our work Slack. Yeah. And it's and then they get in person. It's oh, hey, Johnny. Hey, it's completely normal.
I was laughing the whole way through. Yeah. That to me was just one of the I thought it was so funny what happened, and I found out she was a little upset about that. It's that made it even better for me.
Some of the comments calling him a large gentleman, I think they were some of the funniest.
I really hope that guy who was the original large gentleman, called him big boy. I hope he comments on this video. Show your support.
And his mom, the text from his mom, Drew would get text from his mom. Shout out if she watches this, saying they're being really hard on you on this episode.
Just all time. And he's just an all-time person. But yeah, we're gonna miss him. So make sure you support. First topic is actually goes back to one of Drew's takes.
we found out it was happening. We went over to his house a little bit. Next day, playing some COD, and it's the Zegras goal, right? Or the Zegras assist.
Yeah.
So we'll play the clip here.
This was just insane.
Yeah, clip doesn't work, so I'm not producing
Doesn't work,
anymore.
but hey,
Oh,
there you go. Yeah, here it comes. Just
Okay. That assist is so sexy, but I feel like the goal itself was nicer. Like the hand-eye, like the patience to bat that in.
I agree. I agree. And Drew, say what Drew said.
I get on PS5 with Gavin, and Drew and Gavin are talking about the goal. He says, "That was stupid as fuck. You could have just passed it along the ice. There's no need for him to do that." He's like, "What has the defenseman doing?"
Man, they have the confidence to do that.
Yeah.
How old is he? Like
19.
19.
Yeah,
Insane.
that's
The
crazy.
other thing is, like, I feel because guys have pulled off the Michigan now, if they see you're gonna like flatten your stick to scoop the puck up, they go all the players and the goalies try to adjust for it.
Yeah.
So faking the Michigan now, it's like when you fake through the legs.
Yeah.
Before you couldn't fake through the legs because no one expected you to go through your legs anyways. Now it's a play.
Yeah, I agree. I think you look like he could pass the puck. There's no way he's roofing that from that close.
Yeah.
The goalie is right there ready for it. I think
His takes just live on the
Drew
show.
take I do wish he was here. I miss him. I wish he was here so we could just do one of those things where we all just team up on him and rip him apart. And saying that is an amazing goal. Let's respect it. Let's put some respect
his
on
only
it.
argument is he gets to choose when we move on to the next topic.
He'd be like, all right, next topic. Let's move on. But I mean, amazing goal. I mean, that's gonna live on forever.
One that sticks out, best assist of all time for you guys?
So put a little video, the Carlson saucer.
Yeah,
in the
we were
playoffs.
talking about this the other day. This is what we thought.
God. I mean, Hoffman taking that pass though was like
Clean on
It's
the
like
ice.
a football pass.
Yeah.
You put it on a string. He just takes it. And then the Hoffman goal kind of like gets lost in how nice of a pass that was. But man, he's a Forsberg pretty much, right?
it was a Forsberg.
There was one too. Crosby had it. He was like scooting behind the net for like 15 seconds. Backhand off the back of the net. Breaks 3 guys' legs. Backhand drop pass to the point.
I remember that.
Yeah,
He was like, I'm pretty sure that was Jason Spezza that he was just dicing around.
Oh.
Yeah. Fuck, man, Ottawa. But yeah, no, that assist's gonna live on for a while. Let's go a little bit organic here. Let's talk about, you're going to a bar. This was brought up. I don't even know who brought this up. Which NHL player would you want to be with in a bar fight? Ave, did you bring this up?
Maybe Gavin, but I think I rounded it.
So it's like he's on your team.
On our team, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with like Ryan Reeves is an obvious answer, I think, but Sean Avery.
You'd lose.
No.
I mean, I'm gonna have George Laraque on my side.
I
See, you guys are picking enforcers though.
yeah, that's too
know.
easy.
Well,
I kind of want to
to
like. I'm trying to think like.
How about Matt Cook? Because he's gonna talk so much shit too. He's just start a massive thing.
I'm almost thinking Brad Marchand because he's gonna draw all the attention away from me.
Yeah.
Right?
Or Chara does the same thing. All the
Chara.
intent. Everyone wants to beat up the biggest guy at the bar every time.
Yeah.
But Marchand's just so small and he has such a rat face. And it's so easy to just.
Evander Kane would be a fun one too, because he's just gonna say the most absurd things.
Because he's gonna be the one starting the fight anyways.
Exactly.
And
All the
Evander Kane's
attention's off you then.
Yeah, he's dragging me into his fight.
Yeah, exactly. Enforce is too easy of an answer.
Yeah.
man. You can't put
I know.
Enforce
You
there.
got to think like out of the box here.
Let's think out of the box. What goalie do you want on your side in a bar fight? It can't be Ray Emery.
Man.
Goalie fight?
Robin Leonard.
Robin Leonard's pretty
got to be
nuts.
up there.
Yeah.
Ron Hextall.
Ron Hextall, yeah.
Way back.
Ben Bishop.
Dominic Hasek would like pull out some karate moves or something like that. He's a weirdo.
Ben Bishop's on your team. Somebody smashes a bottle. Ben Bishop falls to the ground. He's like, I'm fucking down.
Yeah, he would get hurt.
I broke my leg already.
He would get hurt.
He would break his hand on the first punch that missed and he hit a wall.
Patrick Waugh is insane.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't you want to go to a bar?
Like, who do you not want to be in your
Who
fight?
would you? Yeah.
Mitch Marner.
Cole Caulfield.
Maybe.
Somebody's gonna pick Cole Caulfield up and hit me with him.
Yeah, Cole Caulfield. I feel like Nick Suzuki's too nice to fight. Same as Oh man, who might? Phil Kessel.
Tyler Ennis.
Phil Kessel.
Oh, Johnny Goudreau, Johnny Ham and Cheese.
Oh,
There's
Johnny
no
Gaudreau?
chance.
Yeah.
You're getting no back from Johnny Goudreau. He's running the other way.
Johnny Gaudreau is like actually like the type of like he'd go like just like a run.
Pull the collar.
Yeah, just like I don't know.
Oh my
That's too
god.
good.
Talking about Johnny Gaudreau, Team USA, Team Canada, newest projections came out. Some shockers.
This is the dumbest
This
list.
was
Whoever made this.
so
Who made
bad.
this?
So for our Spotify listeners, we are looking at the list right now. Who made it? Apparently, someone interviewed the GM Armstrong about.
It was on Daily Faceoff.
Yeah, it was on Daily Faceoff. So let's talk about Team Canada first. The big sort of was Tom Wilson, which when was he ever talked about making this team? And Hyman playing with McDavid. What do we think? Like,
So-
do we think this is crazy?
This is kind of a conversation me and Gianni had last night, and it's like I don't hate the idea of building a roster. You can kind of go two different ways. You can pick like the top 15 or whatever guys is like just the best of the best, kind of like an all-star team, or
Yeah.
do you construct it like strategically, like how people will fit together? Like Hyman's going to feed McDavid. He's going to go in the corners, bang, so McDavid can benefit
I think
from
the
that.
argument more though is like, okay, you can put Wilson or whoever on this squad, but like, what is the difference between putting Stone on the fourth line, having that shutdown line anyways, and then Marner on the third line? That just makes your team better.
Yeah, it's tough because one thing is for like the fourth line won't play as much.
You want to read through the lines for people who are listening.
So it's Hyman, McDavid, Bergeron, Marchand, Crosby, McKinnon, which is obviously a nasty line.
Unbelievable.
O'Reilly, Point. Ooh, O'Reilly's been talked about not making the team. O'Reilly, Point, Stone, Huberdeau, Couturier, Wilson, and then the extras are Tavares, Stamkos, defense, Theodore, Pietrangelo. I, for some reason, can't say that name.
No, you can't.
Darnell Nurse was a surprise. Drew Doughty, Morrissey,
Morrissey's
McCarr, and the
crazy.
extras are Ekblad, Riley.
The
Goalies are shit.
insane. Who?
Oh,
what the
that
fuck?
Kemper, I kind of get. He hasn't been great this year. Fleury is an insane choice.
That doesn't make any sense.
So
Binnington as the third.
Yeah, so Fleury,
Yeah.
Kemper, Binghamton. Big one on D here. Big one on D here is Dougie Hamilton not being there.
Dougie
Are we
Hamilton
just
is-
avoiding like Dougie Hamilton here?
Okay, I heard one take about Dougie Hamilton, and he's not a
Shit, sorry.
That was wild.
he hasn't been the greatest in playoffs. And if you already have McCarr, like McCarr's the number one power play guy for sure.
Yeah.
Right? You're not taking that role away. And I feel like just with the guys you have, you don't like. Again, it's what Cole was saying. Do you want to just construct the best, the best 6D men you can possibly find, or do you want to be like, McCarr needs like a shutdown guy to play with?
Yeah.
Do you guys hate having Hyman on there? Because we were
Yeah.
like in
I
the
hate it.
2010 Olympics.
They
They
had-
just
yeah.
did the San Jose line. They just did Heatley, Marlowe,
See,
and Thornton. I don't hate the idea of just
I said
pairing
this.
up guys.
I said this to you too. If Draisaitl was Canadian and it was Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl, I'd be like, go for it. I
copy
don't
and paste.
care.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's like they went Vlasic and Burns. They went Muzzin, and like Muzzin had no business being
Crosby
a 24.
and,
Kunitz made the team.
Kunitz, yeah.
That's- yeah.
Right. But it's like I don't know. I feel like if Hyman made it, it's one of those arguments where it's just like that team's so good anyways. It almost doesn't matter.
I think you ask McDavid. You just say, "Do you want Hyman on the team?"
Behind-
Like,
he's
gonna
really?
say yes.
Behind
though.
closed doors though, like it has
Do
to
you
be a
think
totally
though he says
secret.
yes?
I think so.
I mean,
Like,
there's the best players.
it's your teammate. You don't
Yeah.
want to say no to a guy being on an Olympic roster.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Who's missing? The fact that Stamkos wouldn't make it seems kind
Yeah,
of crazy
it's
to
tough.
me.
Such a
Marner's off
veteran.
that. How is Marner
Marner,
off?
yeah.
that?
Yeah, that's
Marner's a penalty
ridiculous.
killer too. Like I don't know. Like they're so Wilson's not making it.
Yeah, and he.
Absolutely.
That's so stupid.
on an Olympic-
Giroux too. Giroux's not on there.
Yeah, see, I said that too. I'd rather have Giroux in if you want like a sick two-way guy.
And you said you can play anywhere too.
Yeah, he plays all three forward positions constantly,
Yeah.
up and down the lineup.
We're gonna come up with our ideal team for a
Yeah.
social post.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So
Next
make sure
week.
you follow at OwnersBox so you guys can see that. We'll come up, make our projections. Let's talk about Team USA here. Let's run it down here. Kyle Connor, Austin Matthews, Patrick Kane, Tkachuk, JT Miller, DeBrincat, Goudreau, Larkin, Brady, Tkachuk, Chris Kreider, Brock Nelson, Joe Pavelski, Pacioretty. What the fuck? Is Pacioretty actually an extra on this team? Gensel, McDonough, McFucking Dunn. Are you kidding me? Adam Fox, Slavin, McAvoy, Werenski, Seth Jones, and then Quinn Hughes, John Carlson's an extra on this team.
I have an update from the same guy. He posted one today.
Yeah.
Brady Tkachuk, Brock Nelson out, TJ Oshie, Blake Coleman in.
Brady Tkachuk out.
Blake Coleman.
Wow.
And then Brent Pesce and Quinn Hughes out.
Hellebuck, Gibson. Those are great goalies.
So much
I love
better.
Pesce though. Pesce's sick at the. Like the only thing is like they're gonna make this. Remember when it was?
Remember when they cut Bobby Ryan, Team USA,
cut
when
Bob-
he was nasty?
And they
make questionable cuts.
They cut Phil Kessel in the World
Yes.
Cup of Hockey. They got like 0 wins, and Phil just tweets out, "I feel like I should be doing something right now."
they do make questionable moves, Team USA.
It's because they always want to build a team that's like, we know we're shittier than Canada. We gotta just like grind them out. Yeah, like Justin Applicator's on the team. Like, what is that? How do you make that?
Like,
move?
you need Brady on the team if you want to play that style of game. Like, he's fucking top 5 in hits in the NHL.
I would line up Brady with Matthew. And then I would try to find put Brock Nelson or put Joe Pavelski in the middle of them. Something silly. Crazy line.
This team is really good. This USA team.
Do you want to go through like edge, forwards, D, goalie? Like I think, I don't know, it's a hot take. Forwards for US just kind of look better to me. I don't know.
Okay,
I think it's tough. It's so hard.
If
Like
Eichel's healthy by the beginning of February, and he's like, maybe he hasn't even played for Vegas, does he just make it without playing an NHL game this year?
imagine just plugging in Eichel into this lineup.
No way you can do that, I would think. Right?
Like, would you rather carry Gensel as your 14th forward or Eichel as your 14th forward and just hope he can play?
Yeah, there's no way Brock Nelson stays on this team, but
Love seeing Chris Kreider on there. That's
Yeah,
my
Chris
Johnny's
Kreider's
guy.
been really
Love
good.
Chris Kreider.
Bald ass
Really
Chris
good.
Kreider.
it's tough though. Like, you look at this team, like, you think like
The goalies have to be the edge. Team
yeah,
USA.
goalies.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Such a huge
They're putting in
advantage.
Jack Campbell in the most recent one, and Thatcher
Really?
Demko's out.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah, I mean,
update.
that makes sense.
Makes sense. I
Based
think.
on play this year, for sure.
I
Man,
think
that's like two of the best goalies in the whole NHL. Is that the top 3 goalies in the NHL on Team US?
I mean, Vasilevsky's.
Oh yeah, that's
Shesterkin.
I think like you look at Team USA and you're like, fine, they're really good. Like, but you look at McDavid, Crosby, McKinnon alone, and you're like, those guys are the best hockey players. in the
McDonough,
world.
Adam Fox together is almost like just a slap for the Rangers for Rangers fans. But like Werenski Jones makes sense, I guess, because they play together. If you could, and then if you go like Slavin Pesce, I guess, but like McAvoy's got to be on the team.
Werenski, Seth Jones, funny.
Yeah,
Back
Feels
at
good.
it.
Feels good to have NHLers potentially back in the
I saw a
Olympics.
bad tweet today saying that it
It's not
sounds
gonna
like
happen.
the NHL. It's because of that COVID thing.
Yeah.
If you get COVID, they're 14 days quarantine in China.
So they'll miss the NHL season.
Yes, but the owners want to be able to fly to China on a private plane or something and pick up the players quarantining there and be able to bring them back to speed it up.
Wow.
And China's saying no, so that's like
Oh my
the whole
God.
issue with sending
NHL
them.
does not want its players like locked up there.
In China. Fuck
Absolutely
no.
not.
Yeah, wouldn't want that.
The last Olympics were, I mean, to me, were so boring. With there was no NHLers.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Wojciech
shit.
Wolski, like #1 center.
It's one of those
in Canada.
things where like I'd rather just watch the World Juniors than the Olympics because I'd rather just watch the sickest junior kids playing than just all like the 4th stringers.
Yeah. Looking at this list, there's not one single Coyotes player. That's just classic. But they actually blamed human error. They've been in the news for financial issues. What are our thoughts on that?
Well, we wanted to ask Cole, finance guy.
Finance guy here. Is that normal? Like, do you think they shit the bed here or what?
I would say finance and accounting are a little different.
Okay.
Like I don't know
Okay.
a goddamn thing about accounting, but I can crunch some numbers. Accounting is like all, I don't know. That's too boring for me. Sorry, accountants out there.
They said so.
But it doesn't sound good not paying $1.2 billion. That sounds bad.
Yeah.
So
from my understanding, is what happened was they were told that they will be locked out of the arena by a certain date if they don't pay, and then like the day after they said we forgot to pay. We forgot to pay. Like, do we think that they actually forgot to pay, or they're just struggling for money?
they're-
feel
what
like
do you
that's
think?
something you would do.
If
Oh,
any-
yeah.
If anybody, that's like
Gosh, shit, I meant
that's a classic. Ah, fuck! I thought I sent my rent. Rent's in the mail, bro. I
Yeah.
swear to God, on God, I sent the check.
But Gary Bettman said there's no issues. It was like, yeah, there's an issue. You just forgot to pay $1 million bill.
Yeah.
How much was it?
I thought
total?
it was-
I thought it was 1.2 million.
Oh, I messed that up by accident.
No,
I
it's
said
way
billion.
more than that.
Really?
I
That's on.
swear
I'll
it's
look-
like
I have the computer.
Wait,
There
that's
you go.
how.
check the number. I want to know, and then we'll.
Wow, but that mistake, I just thought that was so
Man,
funny.
they're-
It comes
they're-
from the team too that's like planning on reload.
Their whole
relocating.
franchise has just been one massive fuck up after another.
Gary-
Like their
the-
arena, there's huge issues with their
1.3
arena.
million
Yes.
US
Yeah,
in
okay,
taxes.
3 million.
Honestly, that's not too
Said the wrong
bad
number. Whoops.
for a like. I mean, like the thing is, like if you're like an NFL team, Like you're like, oh fuck, that's like 2% of like a player we have.
Yeah.
For the NHL, it's probably a little bit more, but it's like the NHL is probably just like fucking shitting on these guys right now behind the closed doors.
Yeah, I don't know their financial situation. Is
just-
it just like they just pay it and then they're
What
good?
other organization
Yeah.
in sports would this happen to other than the Coyotes, right?
I've never seen
Who
that.
owns them?
I forget the guy's name.
Because you know that they
They've
told
changed
them,
hands.
like, before going public with this, they definitely were warned, like, hey, this isn't paid.
Yeah.
Like, you guys got to pay
It's
this.
It doesn't just come up like, oh, hey, 1.4 mil is missing somewhere.
Shit.
It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. The intern comes in one day and just fucking shows him his phone. It's like, guys, I think we have a bill that we missed.
It got lost in the mail, man. It
I accidentally subtracted it from our total.
Yeah, subtract it. So we're going to talk about trade deadline. I have a couple players up here that I thought were huge names. I kind of want to talk about where do we think that these players are going to go? Where would you like to see these players go? John Klingberg, Philip Forsberg, JT Miller are three names that have been talked
The
about.
deadline is March 21st.
March 21st?
Yeah.
A little early to this one.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, JT Miller's been already talked about like pretty extensively, especially now that the new GM's in. It just doesn't make. They have three good centers on that team, and they need defense help.
Nice little note for you guys here that you guys might like. We were watching Sportsnet today. So Jim Rutherford, Bruce Boudreau. Big Bruce scored his first NHL goal on Jim Rutherford.
That's a fun stat.
Yeah.
Do you see Bruce Boudreau get on the ice the other day?
Oh
And
my
just,
God.
Like he's like waddling around. Like,
There's Barbecue Bruce. That's what they call him.
Jeremy sent me that video. Maybe one of the funniest
Wait,
things.
why do they
His
call him
gut
Barbecue
is
Bruce?
Just eat so much barbecue.
Barbecue.
We
Bruce.
talked about him a couple like pods ago, and I was like, he's just the goofiest looking guy.
Was that on the pot? We talked.
In depth.
yeah,
in
about-
depth about
Cole
Bruce
and I were
Boudreau.
talking about this yesterday. Bruce Boudreau is like the alternate universe Barry Trotz. Like Barry Trotz just only cares about defense, but he's a bald fat guy. Bruce Boudreau only cares about offense, but he's a bald fat guy.
If they could combine, they'd be one hell of a fucking
yeah.
coach.
Yeah.
I said if they combine, they're Randy Carlisle.
They just have zero offense or defense talent.
And they're just both just really bald, really fat. I'll give it. Randy's got some hair.
Honestly, though, sorry, just looking at this list now, I feel like Forsberg is the biggest one there.
I mean, who's going to be a buyer and a seller at 3 months from now? It's kind of hard to tell, but
The one thing is
It's a little early, okay? Forsberg, God damn it.
Forsberg makes $6 million a year, I think. So like if Nashville retains half, and like teams have been doing this the last couple of years, like Nashville will retain half, trade him to someone. That team will retain half, trade him to the actual team.
Yep.
So it's like a 3-team trade. So like if you can get Forsberg for $1.5 million, that opens the door to so many teams.
do you know like the cap situation for teams like Florida or Edmonton?
There's a lot of teams like that. They're just getting right up to it.
Yeah, I
because of
believe
the
Edmonton's
COVID
hugging the
stuff.
cap.
Yeah.
Because like Klingberg, I don't know his deal, but
Yeah.
he'd be great for a team like Edmonton.
Says they have $0 in projected cap space.
There you go.
The only guy, I think that's though because they have Mike Smith using LTIR. So,
Mike Smith, we were talking about him last night too.
Wow.
so my only
hate Mike
thing with
Smith.
Edmonton was like, I was thinking before the season, like if they could just dump Koskinen in, because that's $4.5 million,
Yep.
then they could just pick up somebody sick, and then he's played way too well for them. He hasn't been like a showstopper, but he's been like a pretty good starter. And I don't know what the Mike Smith situation is. I've heard nothing about him. He just got injured one day.
Man,
So-
we were talking about Mike Smith. His puck handling is so funny because you would watch like the TSN at the end of the year they do top 100 plays and then top 100 like
Fuck ups.
pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah.
missed plays. You would watch top 100 plays and there would be like Mike Smith putting a pass from like the corner to the far blue line on an absolute rope to a guy who goes down and scores a breakaway, and then like 20 minutes later you're just watching Mike Smith like bobble a puck right to a guy who just puts it in the net. The guy's so frustrating.
He bobbles the puck and he goes, "Oh, somebody hit me in the face," and he falls down and pretends to be injured.
When he was in Calgary, he used to make me so frustrated.
He's a little bit of a psycho.
He is
Yeah.
a psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
he's
it. I
nuts.
love aggressive goalies.
He's a
though.
little bit of a
That's
psycho.
good.
That's what we
bar
say.
fight goalie.
We always say a goalie is rather a psycho
Or
or
a
they're like
weirdo.
really quiet.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. I heard JT Miller talked about going to Florida. I mean, not Florida, Philadelphia.
Oh, not anymore, probably.
But now
Yeah,
anymore.
there's
now
no way they're buying
Philly
it.
sucks, but I mean, the
Colorado?
Canucks D sucks so bad.
It sucks, and they're locked into so much money.
yeah.
We've talked to us so much about the Canucks in the last few weeks.
We have.
Keep
We
talking.
It's
Yeah.
on their situation this year's unbelievable. I can't recall a team being like this hopeless.
Yeah, it's it's bad.
And it sucks to be-
Rutherford's a big trade guy.
He is a big
Yeah.
trade guy. I mean, when you're a new GM, first thing you're thinking is like, what are we doing here?
Like,
we're not staying the same.
None
We
of
made
these
a big
guys are
change.
my guys.
Yeah,
Here
no,
do I
yeah.
actually like.
He has no connection to these guys. Like I see a bunch of trades coming. He's been known to, like Avery said, like trade a lot. But it'll be interesting. Obviously, it's early. Like, you guys can talk shit about me in the comments about bringing up this topic. But, hey, you never know, eh? Maybe all three of these get traded next week.
That'd be
And then
awesome.
it'll be perfect timing. Let's talk about Jacob Trouba. He's been on talking about a
tear.
guy who lays the body. He's been on an absolute just death mission here.
Love the title of this video.
So this was McKinnon. So this was his. He just lays him out.
Crunches him.
Okay, so
McKinnon's not a small guy.
You think it was a
either.
dirty hit? I saw.
I don't
some people
think
say
it was
that.
dirty.
I didn't think so.
No, it's
you got your head
whoa.
down.
There's a difference between dirty and just taking advantage of someone.
So what do we think? Like this is on because my dad hates this, right? You're talking about my dad. He's older. He hates that when there's a clean hit,
Yeah.
there's a fight every
Yeah.
time.
I hate
right?
that. Yeah, I
And
hate that.
it
I was just about to say that.
It was like in playoffs when Tavares, like it was dumb how it sort of like, I'm going to fight
Transpired.
you. I'm going to fight you. And really, it wasn't Corey Perry's fault at all. But what do we think of that now that every time you make a nice clean hit, it's just a fight happens right after?
I mean, like the only argument I'll make is like if it's your star player, it's kind of just like you got to kind of stand up for the boys. Like the only thing that's unfortunate is like Landis Cog is also 6 now. Like for 5 minutes, you're probably not going to have either of them on the ice.
yeah.
And as long as you don't get the instigator penalty,
Yeah.
then it's fine. But like if you do this, and the ref's like, yeah, 2 minutes instigating or roughing or whatever, it's like now you put your team in it. You got one of your guys got rocked legally, and now you're at a disadvantage.
That's what I mean. Like, for example, like if Trouba, let's just say there's 5 minutes left in this game and he lays out McKinnon clean and then like he doesn't want to fight because he's putting the team, like he's hurting the team. Like I just like don't really agree with it, but I understand if it's your star player.
You gotta step
You got
up.
to try and fight him, but I don't blame the guy if he doesn't want to fight.
So what's your dad's reasoning? Because I'm trying
My
to think. I
dad's
don't
just
like
like-
it. I don't like it, but I can't put really words behind it.
He just thinks it's just like getting blown out. Like
Yeah,
everything's a fight now after a hit.
It's a classic old person
Yeah,
thing. Like
it's
my
like
dad's
they
the
hate it,
same
right?
way.
Like they want, if you're gonna fight, like the old way of doing it is you fight because it's rather a dirty ass hit and you hate them, or like you just hate each other and you've been going at it, but not when the clean hit's a
You make
clean
a
hit.
good hockey
There's
play.
no like
Yeah.
that's a good hit, and we're gonna watch this one here. This was in Chicago. Obviously, he went to the hospital.
This guy got nailed.
He's in good shape, but just. I mean, both players had their head down.
Yeah.
You look at these
It's
two
one of
videos.
those things too. I feel like more damage was done by him smacking his head on the ice.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Right.
clean hit too. I
clean
think
hit.
both of those are clean personally.
It's
Man, this guy got.
Here we go.
It's-
Here, yeah.
I would
just-
like
Yeah.
I would say like
Dude, he's looking down.
Yeah.
according to like the rules, I would say that's not a penalty. That's not a suspension. That's nothing. That's just like
No.
the worst way to get hit
Yeah.
possible.
It's always gross when a guy's like arms just go straight out.
Yeah, that's the
And,
worst.
It's brutal.
It's a bad feeling. But he's in good shape right now.
Good,
Yeah, he
honestly,
said
good on Strome too. Like Strome immediately sees and he's like calls the guys over.
Yeah.
first guy.
Oh yeah, that's right at the chest, man.
Yeah, it's in the chest and it's just
Yeah, it's
like
ass.
I don't know, like that's
he gets
he
a little
catches
chin
him a
high.
little bit.
He's coming up.
He's also a
though.
huge guy.
But like it's just like look, he falls back, just claps his head on the
yeah.
ice.
He doesn't leave
That's-
his feet though either.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know. If you're bending down for getting the puck, like it's one of those things too. Like guys will be on the boards, a guy's coming in to hit them, and he spins and he gets hit in the back.
Remember when RJ Umberger was like coming onto the ice and just got absolutely
Yeah.
destroyed? That's a crazy hit too.
It's
Kinda
crazy,
like that.
man. Like
Really,
getting
really similar to that.
You're also in your own zone. I feel like you should be kind of more aware. Like puck at your feet in your own zone.
Yeah.
Did feel like the team was breaking out a little bit here, but this is not. You kind of got to be expecting a little something.
Yeah. Feet. Every
Scott-
time the puck is lost in your feet, man, you're
You
waiting
just gotta
for
play
someone
heads
to
up
come.
more.
Waiting someone to come to kill you. But man,
Golly.
I mean, like talking about my minor hockey career here.
Do you know-
I don't think I've ever got my bell rung like that. But
His concussion history is so bad too. People are saying like he actually should retire because of this.
oh god,
He's got like, I think he got one serious concussion last year. Comes back first game, elbow to the face, another concussion. Like Jujhar Carr has just been messed up. Like he actually should probably consider
What
stepping.
happened in your minor hockey? What were you saying?
minor hockey career. I'm just trying to think of some times where I got absolutely rocked.
You
But
just can't remember it because it happened so much.
like, I mean, like I've been hit from behind a couple times, but
Broke my back playing hockey.
no,
Yeah.
from getting hit.
Yeah.
You got to break that down for us.
Okay, so it was a little. We were in Collingwood actually.
Who are you playing?
Collingwood.
Collingwood.
We were in the bubble. We were in the bubble.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a power play, and I was playing the point, and they iced the puck, and so I was coming back into our own zone. Just got kind of like just to the lower part of the circle, and I guess the guy was coming on me hard. That sounded bad. He was coming at me. Fuck. He was pressuring me. And way too hard for you. Don't really expect that on a power play. And so I had my back to him, like shielding the puck, just about to pick the puck up, and the guy just cross checks me right in between the shoulder pad, the bottom of the shoulder pads, my pants, and just as the top of my head just goes and hits the top, it hits the board, just fucking crunched top of my head. Got a compression fracture on my spine.
Oh my God.
Spent the night in a Collingwood hospital. Got morphine though. That was kind of cool.
I got morphine
Morphine's
too once.
awesome.
I got morphine once.
It was awesome. Skated off the ice though too.
Oh, that's big time.
Bad idea,
Bad
but
idea.
sounds cool now.
Yeah, sounds cool now.
So yeah, broken back.
Wow.
I got a spot now. Don't like when people touch part of my back. It's a fun story.
Jesus. Yeah, I haven't had anything that bad. Just separate shoulder once. Grade 1. Grade 1 sprain. But
I thought you were saying you were in the first grade.
no. Grade 1 sprain.
First grade.
Grade 1 sprain. But yeah. All right, so let's talk about Forbes came out with this team valuation chart here of teams. What do we think? Anything surprise? Have you guys even looked at
The
this chart?
first number that stands out to me is New Jersey up 142% in the last 5 years. What the fuck happened there?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because they were good in the early 2000s,
They were.
like really
They were
good with
good.
Brodeur and Stevens. Like, what has happened with New Jersey in the last 5 years? A couple of first overall picks.
Islanders and Edmonton up huge because of their new arenas, probably.
Yep.
That just adds to the valuation.
Canucks was the lowest increase in value with 14%.
No surprise there.
Crazy too. Vegas is 17th on the list, and you just see like Colorado, Anaheim, Winnipeg, Carolina, like all those teams below them, which has been around.
Interesting to see what these valuations are based off of, because
Yeah.
the Kraken valued at $875 million already. Like, I imagine a lot of it is going to be the arena and all like the assets that they own. I used to do business valuations. So this is interesting.
knows.
Right
MSG's tied to the Rangers valuation. That's why why they're the highest.
So high. But like the Kraken, they have almost no goodwill at this point in time. So I think that's got to be based off largely of what they own.
Yeah.
And that sort of like contracts and that sort of thing.
Well, I think
That
it's
is
also
high.
to enter the league, Seattle had to pay like 700 or 600 million just to enter. So that gives them like the baseline of it.
I don't really know the ins and outs of starting a franchise, but that seems like really like the fact that they're that high already on like compared to like the Lightning, who just won back-to-back cups, is crazy.
That is crazy.
But I'm not an expert.
The Coyotes last there at 400 mil.
Tough.
That's too much.
Yeah.
They're a liability to own.
Oh God, that is rough.
Tough to be the Sabres at 500 mil. Because I feel like there's a market in Buffalo.
I do.
They just constantly sucked.
There's the thing too that people are saying, like, if Ottawa had a different owner, their valuation would be so much higher. If they had a better owner, and
People
if they're
hate that guy.
They had arena downtown.
their
It'd be
arena's
really
in the
good.
middle of nowhere.
Yeah, everyone always. Yeah, it's way out in the middle of nowhere, right? That arena. Makes no sense.
Horrible. I went there. It was like I parked like in their parking lot,
there.
and you had to walk 15 minutes to actually get from their parking lot into the arena.
Where the
hell did you park?
I don't remember where.
I went to the All-Star.
I feel like I just parked right at the arena.
Yeah.
I'm not from Ottawa. I don't know the fucking ins and outs.
This guy parked at like a 7-Eleven fucking 15 minutes away and walked over. But
It was like 30 below. It probably just felt like 15 minutes.
Dallas is high too. Like to see the Dallas above the Flames is weird. These are weird Islanders.
Yeah, I didn't really I thought it was interesting, this list. Like,
No, it is.
The Rangers, like the $2 billion versus $400 million is pretty wild from last to first.
You can own 5 Arizona Coyotes or 1 Rangers.
It's just wild.
Looking at the 1 year change too, like that's huge increases in value year over year. Like a 1 year change, one of the average looks like it'd be, I don't know, around
the
20%
Oilers.
or something like that.
And the salary cap doesn't change, right?
Yeah.
Like increasing your value 20% 1 year seems pretty impressive. Like
The owners, man, they're so hard done by making all this more money. Right?
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about a topic that Gianni and Cole have been wanting to talk about for like a couple episodes now. But
Are we doing?
they want to talk about block shots. So
yes.
why don't we start things off? What do we want to start things off with block shots?
Chris
Abe?
Russell, shout out.
Chris Russell, I guess, is like the definition of a block shot.
he's the block shot god. He's the Wayne Gretzky of block shots.
That's just
Numbers that will never be touched. Chris Russell block shots.
Yes, I'm
And
pretty
he's
sure he got
so-
hurt. Didn't he get hurt?
Yeah, last night.
He got hurt last night.
he's so
blocking too
young
many
too. He
shots.
can block so many more shots in his career.
There is something about a block shot being electric that just fires up the boys. I want to know from your guys' perspective, from the other four sports, we'll say, what is a block shot like equivalent to?
Something as you fired like a block
Like
shot,
a-
you just get
So
fired.
let's go with
up.
football. Football, what is a block shot equivalent to?
It has to be a play that's like almost like it's not an irrelevant thing to do, but it's like
It's a big special teams hit, I think, is the same as a block.
Ooh, that's good.
Like you just hear the crack of that
Yeah,
helmet. It's just-
yeah.
Yeah.
Guy
Like the-
gets up fired up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy who doesn't play very often.
Yeah.
Gavrikov's
Oh, that's
just-
actually really
I
good.
like that.
Gavrikov's been taking it on this whole video.
I like that.
I was-
We do need to break this video down after.
We
though.
will.
Yeah.
Felt that energy, Avery, when I was playing junior football, grade 9. Didn't get much playing time. Pink day, so huge
Big
crowd.
day,
Huge crowd at the game, right? Kickoff, right? Roach, get out there. I get out there, just lay the body. Boys are fired up. I go on the sideline like I'm a huge fucking. You know what? But I come back and I'm just like, man, that felt amazing.
How
like
big
that's
were
like
you?
a block shot.
How big were you in grade 9, and who were you
Oh
hitting?
man, I probably weighed 150. Didn't even like fully hit him, just like body check, like shoulder check, like
Oh,
hockey
yeah.
check. Just threw him to the sidelines. Coach was patting me on the back, fired me up.
So I was thinking basketball, block shot in basketball is setting like a nice pick, and then a guy just
Knock
turns
him
around and
over.
just fucking beat, like knock him to the ground.
That's
a good one.
That's good. Baseball. Okay, so baseball, I was thinking like pretty hard on this.
That's just like sliding in hard. Like
It's
second.
catcher catches it. He gets plowed. Keeps the ball.
Keeps the ball. He shows the ball to the ump, just tosses it
Those,
back.
Yeah, I
those
like
are
that.
those are
Yes.
retired though.
Or outfielder catches the ball, runs into the fence. Still has the
Yeah,
ball.
honestly, running into the fence, catching the ball. Like Kevin Pillar was not a good defensive player, but he would just lay his body on it.
Yes,
Like,
that's why people loved him.
The
He won a gold
Superman
glove,
catch.
no?
No, I don't
No,
think
because
so.
he's not
My bad.
he's not actually a good defender. He's just
Yeah.
he's like always out of
The
position.
analytics actually
He
say
made
that
he made highlight reel
His- yeah.
plays.
Yeah.
It's
but
like-
his defensive metrics weren't very.
It's like
good.
when goalies make sick saves. It's because they're out of position. They're diving across
Yes, they
like
have to make the
desperation.
play.
So
Yes.
it's like I think like honestly a Superman save running into the fence is it's like block shot equivalent.
One of my favorite baseball clips of all time is the guy that just runs through the wall. You ever seen that? It's like a minor league baseball game.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He just runs through the wall. It's like a big wood wall. It's one of the best things ever.
So we got a video up here of so pretty much we searched up on YouTube best block shots, and it came up that this guy, I don't even know his name. Gavrikov had 4 block shots in one shift. So we're gonna break down this little thing here.
Sends a one-timer to Mike Hoffman, who's got a ripper of a shot.
He's got a ripper.
Gets his just ass in front of
Oh
it.
my God.
I love when they block the first shot.
Yes,
they're
they
limping.
get right back. Yeah,
They
I know.
get right back
He's
in.
hurt. At this point, he might have a broken leg.
Yeah,
He gets
falls
up.
down twice as hard. Blocks the third one.
And now
takes
he's
a
still
little
found
bit.
himself in front of the
Yeah,
net.
he's trying to find himself.
Columbus putting absolutely no pressure on the puck. The rest of the team just fucking, oh yeah, we're just collapsing. Gavrikov's barely standing. And then Mike Hoffman loads it.
No, he's like he kind of feels bad at that point.
Yeah.
He's like,
Must have been
He's just like, fuck.
That's like 3 Mike Hoffman one time.
Oh, then he found it. There. He found
He
his
skated so hard trying to clear that. He's like, boys,
he
get
got-
the puck out of the
he goes to
fucking
the
zone.
he goes to the bench after. The boys are like, fucking rights, man.
There's nothing like watching a guy whose body is just not working anymore, and he's just somehow finding a way to hobble into position and block a shot.
I mean, everyone thinks of the Ferentz block, right? Was that in
Campbell.
playoffs?
Wasn't it
Was
Greg
it?
Campbell?
Wait, what?
The-
It was
which one?
Campbell. It's Campbell, not Ferentz. I don't know why.
Oh
I'm saying
yeah.
Ferentz.
Oh, Andrew Campbell. Though that was I was telling Cole that's my
And
favorite.
Greg Campbell.
Greg Campbell.
Campbell.
My favorite block shot.
Yeah, it's the best shot.
Sequence. I hate the Bruins, but like shout out Campbell.
That was
Dude.
in the
Insane.
playoffs, right?
That was in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, to,
Sacrifices
that
his
was,
leg.
That was when they swept the Pens in 2013. That was an insane
just wild.
Talking about block shots, Chris Russell. the silver shin pads.
Oh yes, we're gonna bring that up here. Eddie's gonna bring it up. So what is the backstory on these silver shin pads, Abe? Like Spin Chicklets just tweeted them?
No, they goes. So I'll read the caption. A handful of guys can say they've got a silver stick. Only one guy can say they have silver shinners. Chris Russell received these bad boys for blocking the most shots in NHL history.
That is so funny.
They give a silver stick when you hit 1,000 games played.
Do you think the NHL gave this to him?
No, the Oilers. I think the Oilers did it.
I thought this was like a joke, like someone like I didn't think this was a gift to fucking Chris Russell.
Do we know how many block shots he has?
It says on the shin pads, maybe.
It says like you can see the tiny little ones.
No way it says.
I can see
it does. 990. No,
I thought it says
999.
That can't be right.
So
it's too nice of a number.
1990.
So he must be coming up on 2,000.
Are you sure that's the number?
Can you scroll down a bit? No, I think those are just like imprints of his own shin pads.
Yeah.
Can you like scroll down to the plaque at the bottom?
The plaque says 1999, I think.
So why wouldn't they just
I
wait
think
till he hits 2,000?
those are the numbers there that he has. So he's got like.
So read the plaque too.
Chris Russell, on becoming the NHL's all-time leader in block shots with 1999.
That's such a sick
November
number.
2nd,
That he broke it with
2021.
1999. That is unbelievable.
That's a sick number to
That
break
is
with.
sick.
Oh, it's from your Oilers teammates.
And
Okay, so the Oilers
they
gave it
won.
to him.
They won 3-2. So we blocked one of the goals.
How much do you think? Like, I know this is me being a cheap fuck, but how much do you think these cost? Like,
These guys make millions of dollars.
yeah.
Do you think those are
I don't
actually?
know. I'm just interested to hear. Like, you think it's
a
actually
couple
silver?
Probably a few grand. Probably a few
I
grand.
don't think it's actually silver. It's probably just.
I feel like the plaque is silver. The shin guards aren't.
So do you think he like goes home and just has to ice up every time? Knows back he's coming to war again tomorrow just to put his body on the line. Like, how do you prepare yourself for that?
I play beer league shinny wearing goalie equipment. I never once leave the game without a bruise. This guy's playing NHL minutes
Oh my God.
and player equipment. He's guys covered in.
And me and Johnny were at the Leafs game last night, and watching those guys on the penalty kill, like they just don't cover their face either.
Oh, yeah.
They just don't give a fuck
No.
about putting their and like when I'm in beer league, I'm covering my face. I'm not taking a puck to the face. And these guys just don't care.
Some of these guys are wearing the fucking the shoulder pads are basically just cups on your shoulders, and it's like styrofoam on your chest, and there's just nothing covering here, and they're just like, yeah, fucking hit me.
Fucking.
It'd be a great little house thing there. If people come over, it's like, yeah, not a big deal.
Silver shinnies.
Yeah, silver shinnies.
I would go in McDavid's boys' room because that's the place you can put the colors.
Yeah.
I would just love to see some of the size of some of the bruises Chris Russell has had over 1999 block shots.
Crazy. That wraps up the episode. Make sure you comment below, #Gentlemen's Club, show support to Drew. And this episode is sponsored by Manscaped. 20% off, free shipping, use code BOX.